Thanks for joining me in my home. Today I have some great ideas for dishes and glassware. First, we'll turn a plain dish into a fancy hand-painted plate. Then an easy etching idea that will add class to your glass. Plus, an old glass goblet becomes a fancy new candle. We are dressing up our dishes and more today on Embellish This. Hi, welcome to Embellish This. I'm Dina, and I'm really excited because I have some great embellishing projects to teach you today. I love to entertain. You probably love to entertain too, but I love to have beautiful dishes to entertain on. And I get bored of the plain ones that I have in my cupboard sometimes. So I'm going to show you a simple technique to embellish your plates that you may already have. What we're going to start with is just a simple plate. Now I really like the shape of this plate. It's a square, it's a little different, but a round plate will work as well. Now let me also show you the types of paints we're going to use. These are by Plaid and they're called enamels, and they're perfect for mirrors and glass and ceramics. Now let's get started. We have two different brushes, and this is actually a 1/2-inch flat brush right here, and this is a number 5 round brush. Now this is a really simple painting technique, so those of you that are afraid of painting, relax, we're fine. I'm going to take you all the way through this. I'm going to start with this 1/2-inch brush. I'm just going to dip it in some water so it's nice and pliable, wipe it off, and I think I'll start with this green. And I'm going to just paint on this border. So I'm starting right in the center. I don't have anything drawn out, it's all freehand because I want it to have that really fresh hand-painted look. And I'm simply going to turn my plate and go all the way around. Here's another stroke, and it doesn't have to be perfect. Don't beat yourself up here if it's not coming out all straight and beautiful. You don't want that. You could buy them all perfect, and we're making them, so you want a nice hand-painted look. And just think of the surprise. You may just do these for your family. They'll come home, "Mom, you bought new dishes." "No, I hand painted them." They'll be so impressed. And now I'm ready for my blue. I'm just going to wash my brush a touch because I like the idea of the colors blending a little bit. It's so pretty. And I have my turquoise. These paints are great because they come in such a fantastic variety of colors that you really don't have to mix. And I'm just going to continue all the way down, all these stripes. You can see how they're blending a little bit, and that's what I want. Continuing right with this flat brush. And you can make them all a little bit different. All the colors can be a little bit different. And I've chosen kind of in this palette of blues and greens and turquoise because I think that really looks pretty together. But you could have a completely different palette, something that goes with what you have already, and that will work as well. You know, you can understand why I said you shouldn't be scared if you're afraid of painting, because you can see how simple this is. If you have a free afternoon, a Sunday afternoon would be perfect. You can make a whole set of these. Do them with your kids too, they'll have a blast. Okay, so my blue is just about done, and now I'm going to switch brushes. And I have this number 5 round, and I'm going to go in with my blue, and you can see that I'm not letting it dry. And that is okay because we want it to blend. Okay, what am I going to do now? You can make this up as you go along. That's part of the fun. I think I will add some blue stripes right on the side because it's a plaid. And look how pretty that looks. The colors are all blending. And we'll add another stripe over here, just like that. You know, you could do polka dots. All kinds of geometrics would work really well together. Now, the only thing you need to remember is when you're making these plates is that you really don't want to eat off this painted surface. You'd rather eat right in the center, maybe a small cookie. Use them just for decorative purposes, put a doily over it. But they are dishwasher safe, which is very cool. And you can hand wash them. Just follow the directions on the back of the package, air dry them for 21 days, or bake them in an oven, and they'll be ready to go. All right, so my blue is just about done. Just have to add this one more set of stripes right here. And then I will let that dry because my next step will be adding some gold. It's looking really pretty. I'm just going to wash my brush out really well this time because I'm switching to gold and I really don't want a dirty brush when I use the gold. Now this is a gold metallic, and I think gold just adds that sparkle. I love adding gold when I can. I'm using my round brush again, and this time let me look at that. I think stripes right in between here would look great, so let's do that. And each plaid can be a little bit different. Look how pretty that looks. It just pops it. Love that. And you'll just go all the way around with your gold, and it looks pretty professional. And it really doesn't take any special painting skills. Okay, we'll just keep going all the way around with our gold. And you can see how quickly I can do this. As long as I have my colors available for me, and I have my brushes and all my supplies out. And I think it would be really fun to combine this with some polka dot plates. Stripes would be great with it. Different colored plaids would be great. Just charming, because remember, as they say, presentation is everything. These would be great dessert plates. And I'm almost done. I am done. And let me show you what it looks like when it's all dry. Here's this one. And here's another one. You can see it's slightly different, but I think that looks great. Up next, easy etching turns plain containers into fancy finds.
I'm Peter Hapney. I'm a blacksmith. I can bend metal with my bare hands.
Peter's sculptures are stretching the traditional boundaries of blacksmithing.
It's fun to see people that come back to you and say how much it has comforted them, be around some of the things that you've made, visually, how important it's been in their life. Fast food is definitely our generation. So making food, I found, was a way to bring people into what the forging can do. Blacksmithing has a connection with the past, the present, and the future. The challenge for me is to come up with ornamentation that relates to today, that will stick and will stay around.
I love black and white, but I also really love painting.
By simply adding paint to her photographs, Kristen Atria blended her love of photography and painting to create striking works of art.
So I love both mediums. And I just thought, wow, wouldn't it be just great to somehow merge that both? And what kind of effect would you get? I would say definitely a photographer at heart. Then comes in the painting, where I come in, you know, on top of the black and white photograph and add, you know, oil paint, colored paint. So it really gives it a mixed medium look. So a lot of times people don't know whether it's a painting or a photograph or what. So it's interesting, you know, people don't know they can do things until they try. You just gotta go and do it. Don't think about it, just try it.
Hi, welcome back to Embellish This. I'm going to be doing a really great project right now. We're going to be etching a plain glass decanter. I've never etched much before, and I was kind of scared of it. But once you get started and you try it once, you're going to love this project. Now we're going to be using an etching cream. This is non-caustic, so it's really a nice product to start with. Now, right here you can see I have some contact paper, and I also have these 3 circle punches, and since you know I love polka dots, we're going to be doing a polka dotted decanter. Now I have 3 sizes, small, medium, large, and what we're going to do is take this paper and simply punch circles, and you can see I have a whole sheet prepped out, and that's a really good way to start so you don't have to start stop. Now the only thing you need to be aware of is when you do use these circles and the contact paper, it will make your circle punches very gummy. So to clean them, you want to use some newspaper that's saturated with these 2 products, and then just punch, 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 and it'll take the gummy stuff off, so don't worry about it. Alrighty, so here's our decanter. No etching, it's just clean. And let me show you what it looks like when we've started. You can see that I have a couple of circles etched on here. Next, take some of these, and you want to cut them so there's about 1/2 inch all the way around. This is a little tight, but I think it will still be okay. We just take the backing off. And now what I'll do is I'll just tilt it and see where it needs that next polka dot, and I want one right there. So I'll put this down and I'll just burnish it with my finger. Get it nice and tight on there. And then I think I want a small one. So I'll take this, I'll remove the contact paper backing, and let me see where I want a small one. And I think right about there would be perfect. So I'll put one right there, and let me try one more, maybe another small one right there. Here's my paper. And let me put one small one here. And you can see why you want to do these in layers. You can't do it all at once because the contact paper is kind of large. All right, so I have these on here. Next step, we have our etch-all. And this is an etching cream. And I have a little spatula right here. And this is perfect for putting it on. And you want a nice big dollop. Not enough so it will run off, make a big mess on the glass that you don't want to have covered, but enough to really cover that little polka dot. Okay, and I'm just going to put some more right here. And I'm just going to let it sit there according to the directions, but it's usually about 15 minutes. Here I have another one, and this has been sitting on here for about 15 minutes. My next step, this is a little squeegee that you can also buy at the craft store. And what I'm going to do is remove this excess etching cream. And the nice thing is you can reuse this etching cream. So just put it back in your container, all your excess, just like this, and keep it for the next project. And there's a little bit over here. I'm going to get that all off. And a little bit more right here. Now the next thing we're going to do is just give it a bath of water. Now you can see I'm using this Tupperware, and this is a good thing to use. You don't want to use your sink because you can etch your sink, and that would be really bad. All right, now I'm just going to soak it on there and really get that cream off there. And I'm not worried about getting it on my fingers because it's non-caustic. You can see how simple that was. You know, you build up these projects in your mind. Oh, etching cream, that sounds really scary. It's burn my fingers, it's bad stuff. But it really isn't. It's really a lot of fun to do. All right, get that water out of there. I have a little towel right here. I'll put it down. There we go. And now just remove my contact paper. And let me show you what that looks like. So you can already see these cute polka dots. Look at this. Doesn't that look great? I love the polka dots. I think it's really fun. I like to make a whole set of these. Now, if you have any questions about this project, just log on to DIYnetwork.com. Up next, we're waxing up some old glassware to make them new again.
On Be Original, it's our job to help people find that creative place within themselves. We all have it. It's ageless, it's timeless, and it can lead to some amazing discoveries. You just can't be afraid to create something, anything, that in the end is going to be as individual as you are.
Be there today at 1 on DIY Network. We got something to show you. DIY's geared up and on the go with Crafters Coast to Coast.
Finding real people making really cool crafts.
Crafters across the map are showing us their stuff.
Anything goes today.
Whatever fuels your passion.
We got everything rocking and rolling.
Funky, artsy,
Babu,
and off the beaten path. Getting there is half the fun.
Hey, I said come with me.
Love crafts? This is one trip you don't want to miss.
Now I'm ready to roll.
Crafters Coast to Coast. Weekdays at 4 on DIY Network.
I craft these things for a purpose of ambient light. They are completely hollow inside. You take a votive candle, place that inside the luminary, light it, the entire luminary will glow.
Melanie Spiker worked in wax before, making candles, but she wanted to try something a little different, so she decided to create luminaries.
Self-taught, started as a hobby. I've always been not afraid to try something. The experimentation process, that was all trial and error. You know, I experimented with painting, with working with clay, stained glass, you know, flower arranging, just different things that nothing really felt right. And all along, the wax was sitting over there calling me back, you know, so I went back to it, and it worked out.
I like to make things that are very harsh and tough looking and make them look like lace or something that's very feminine and soft. I love working with my hands.
Firuze Underhill uses her hands to craft inspired decorative creations from wire mesh.
I guess I got inspired originally from my mom. I've used a lot of antique beads and semi-precious stones in this one. And I have sewn beads on both sides. So now we have a bow. Let your hands get used to working with different materials. And if you free your mind, then you can really get into it and become creative and go wild.
Why DIY? Because the name says it all.
Crafting is a really personal thing, and people want to do it for themselves.
That's right, it's personal, it's expressive. Heck, for some people, it's even therapy.
When you say why DIY, I think it's because it's who you are.
I'm Michelle Beshin.
And I'm Kathy Fillion.
And I'm Steve Piacenza, and this is my network.
Hey, it's mine too.
DIY Network is from the same people who crafted HGTV. DIY means do it yourself.
Feeling like a scientist today?
DIY has an inventive incentive.
It's all good.
To let your craft experiments run wild.
How do we turn this into this?
How-to tips and doodads for do-it-yourselfers.
Squiggles or doodles or whatever.
The Craft Lab's concocting the perfect formula to satisfy all your crafty cravings.
There are no rules. Absolutely.
If you can imagine it, Craft Lab can show you how to create it.
You have made magic.
Craft Lab, weekdays at noon on DIY Network.
Hi, welcome back to Embellish This. I'm Dina. I think a lot of us have containers in our cupboards that are orphan containers. Maybe you just have one of them, or they're not in perfect condition. I mean like wine glasses, champagne glasses, maybe a teapot without a cover, a sugar container without a cover, a little teacup. Well, we're going to give them a new lease on life today, and they are going to become wonderful candles. And I'm going to show you how to do it. All right, let's start out with this container. You can get these at a craft store, and I like this container because it has a little pouring spout right here. If you don't have one, you can also use a double boiler. Now, I have to tell you, before we start this project, I was a little scared. Heat and candles and the fire, a thermometer, that sounds a little too technical. But once I did it the first time, I'm hooked. And I think you will be too, because this really is a fun project. The first thing we want to do is turn on our stove, not too high, just pretty low. And I have some candle wax right here. And I got this at a craft store. And you want to get specific wax for melting candles. And I cut it into chunks, because that way I can just put it into my container. And I think I'll start by putting in two. And you want to heat that up to about 180 degrees. And we have a thermometer right here. You'll take your thermometer, you'll put it in, you'll check your temperature. And when it gets to 180 degrees, it's time to add some color. And you can buy these little color chips. I'm not making an orange candle, although it looks like it. This is actually going to be a cream-colored candle. It's just very concentrated color. So I'll just plop that in there, and then I'm going to stir a little bit with my wooden spoon. And I'm going to take my heat down a touch, because I'm going to get it down to 175 degrees now. So it's only two different temperatures that you need. Now, when it comes to 175 degrees, you're going to put in your scent. And you don't have to, and you really don't even have to put in color. It's just fun. It's fun to add all, make it customized. Add the color you like, have the scent you like. I'm just going to plop it in there too. And I'll stir it up. And then we're ready almost to pour. So I'll leave it there, and let me show you how we prepare our little goblet. All right, so this is my orphan goblet. I only had two of these. What am I going to do with two of them? This is a perfect project for something like this. Now I have these wicks, and I want you to really notice these wicks. They're called wire wicks, and they have a little metal disc at the bottom. And this is great because they stand up really nicely in the bottom of your container, just like that, okay? And now I have 2 dowels, and if you don't have dowels, that's perfectly fine. You can use wooden pencils, you could use some chopsticks, and the purpose of these is to hold your wick straight up. You want it to be straight up while you're pouring your wax. Oops. And if it's not holding nicely, you can also add a little piece of tape on each side. Stay. There, it's listening to me. All right, so I'll just remove my thermometer like this. I'll put it over here, and I'm ready to pour. This is so easy. I'm just going to hold on to these like this, and I'll pour my wax. And it comes out nice and clear. And you'll also follow the directions, and it's okay if it tips a little bit, just move it up. Just like that. It's totally fine. Pour a little bit more. And just hold it like that. There, it's perfect. And now it will just set up. And let me show you what it looks like when it's all finished. When it's all set up, it will look like this, and I think that's really sweet. Now I have my scissors, and what you'll want to do is just clip it to about 1/4 inch, just like that. Now I want you now to also take a look at some other ones that I just did. This is my wine glass, and look how pretty that is. I got that very inexpensively because it had a chip at the top. I think I got it for $1 or $2 at a flea market. And I have my sugar bowl, no top. What do I do with that? I make it into a candle, and my teacup. Now, if you use these and you use all the wax and it burns out, just do it again. Make another candle out of it. And I think it would be so pretty to do a whole variety of all kinds of wine glasses, crystal wine glasses and goblets, and use them on a table when you're having a party and you're entertaining. It will be absolutely beautiful. Up next, family photos become fantastic coasters.
Listen, your storyline, it makes for incredible TV drama. Thing is, your drug use is too adult for the kids. Some have to block you.
Oh, man.
Yeah. Well, have a good one.
You're a nice lady.
I've been a sculptor all my life. Ever since I was a kid, I used to go take rocks out of the creek and bring them up and hit on them with hammers and chisels.
Jeff Morgan, a pipe fitter by trade, turned those skills toward more artistic pursuits.
The musicians are popular because almost everybody played some kind of an instrument in high school, and so the contact for familiarity is there. There was a shirt that my wife made for me with puff paint, and it was of a saxophone player in the rain. And I said, wow, that would make a neat sculpture. Over the years, I kind of figured out just how to do them, so I can get the eyebrows, and I can give them different expressions, make them look happy or sad, or like they're playing the blues. The hardest thing for me is to make the girl musicians pretty.
These tended to be just little jewels that I could make on sort of a limited budget, and that's what got me into these. I just thought, wow, you know, you can make pillows out of all kinds of stuff. And I think the idea hit me that there were a lot of old handwork pieces that were available on the antique market.
Dana Ross' love of textiles lies at the heart of the luxurious pillows she coaxes from her grandmother's 1930s model sewing machine.
My gut has to tell me it's right, and I go through 10 wrongs for one right. There aren't rules. There aren't, oh, well, you've got this, so you can't have that. That isn't true at all. Make it the way you want it, and just kind of try not to look at what it costs if you can. Just let the pillow tell you what to do.
You just want to be you, right? You just want to have some fun. You don't want to deal with someone offering you a drink. Sure, it may seem like everybody does it, that some kids think is cool, but would you want to embarrass yourself or say things you'll regret later? So remember, you don't have to drink to have a good time. Sorry, gotta lose the beer. Because for kids who drink, the party is already over.
For more information on teens and drinking, visit our website, thecoolspot.gov.
It was interesting to build a boat with my dad. We both got to know each other a lot better.
Aaron Whipple and his father Dana found a summer project that will last a lifetime. They built a pair of kayaks.
The best part was probably seeing it all finished, knowing that it was originally a tree and then went to plywood and now it's a boat. That's pretty cool.
I think any kind of project like this obviously is great for a father-son relationship. It teaches a lot of respect for each other and the huge reward of knowing you built it yourself and having a very useful item that you can use for forever, basically. These boats will be around more than one lifetime, certainly. So it's a very worthwhile project.
Welcome back to Embellish This. I'm always looking for a really creative way to display my photos, and I think I have one today that you're really going to like. We're going to make coasters. Now what I need to start with is some cork board, and you can either buy cork by the yard or by the roll at a hardware store, and you can also buy pre-made cork coasters. Now what I'm going to do is buy some glass already pre-cut at a glass shop, and mine are about 4 inches by 4 inches. And what I need are some family photos. And you can actually do a Xerox copy of these if you don't want to use the real thing. This is a great project for your photos or for a fabulous gift. Now the first thing we're going to do is take our cork and our glass. We'll use our glass as our template. And we have a permanent marker. And what we'll do is use this glass as our template, as I said, and just draw right around that. Doesn't have to be exactly perfect, but get it pretty close. And then we'll use our scissors, cut right on the inside of that black line. This is a really fun project to do in an evening. You could probably make a dozen pretty easily. We have our photo, and these are actually my kids. This is David and Rachel and Daisy, my dog, and I think they'll be pretty amused to see themselves on a coaster. And we'll just sandwich that together. And then I have bullnose clips. You can get these in an office supply store. So here's one right here, and I'm simply going to clip the top. This is like a clamp, and it really holds this together nicely when you're putting on your tape. Okay, now this here is called linen bookbinding tape. And what I like about this, rather than using a masking tape or a crafting tape, is it has a really nice finish. It looks like linen, and it has an adhesive on the other side. Now I have some pre-cut right here, and these are pre-cut to the size of my glass. So let me show you how you do this. We'll take off a strip, and we'll simply pull off the backing. Okay, easy, right? And this is pretty transparent, so you can see where you want to line up. And I have it right there, and you're going to burnish it with your fingers. Okay, just get it nice and straight. And I'm simply going to turn it over like that, burnish it with my finger on the back, do another strip on the side, and I'll show you how to do that in case you missed something. Just like that. And I still have my clamp on there to hold it into position. Lining it up nice and straight. Well, nope, didn't like that. It was a little too close, and that's okay. This is nice. You can reposition it. I'm going to get a little more on there. There we go. Now I have it the way I like it. And I'm simply going to turn it, burnish it. You can see how quick this is. And now it's ready to take off the bullnose clip. And then I would simply continue the tape all the way around, and it will look like this. Now I think you have a project that you will be very proud of. Use these at a birthday party, use them for an anniversary party. It's a great way to display photos. This is a very rewarding project and very personal. And remember, if you've missed any of the directions on any of today's projects, just log on to DIYnetwork.com, and we'll see you next time. And don't forget to keep embellishing your life.
Why DIY?
Because the name says it all. Being creative is a very personal thing.
I mean, it's just kind of a way you see the world and interpret things.
Why DIY? Because it's who you are.
Hey, I'm Jennifer Perkins.
And I'm Kathy Fillion.
I'm Steve Piacenza, and this is my network.
Hey, it's mine too.
Weekdays beginning at 11.